Good morning, students. In this video, I start the remaining part of the lesson True Height. As he began sprinting down the runway, something felt wonderfully different yet familiar. The surface below him felt like the country road he used to dream about. The rocks and chunks of dirt. The visions of the golden wheat fields seemed to fill his thoughts. Okay, in this stadium, when he started to run, he simply remembered, simply went flashback. He simply remembered the dirty roads which are filled with pebbles and dirt near his village, the white fields, golden white fields down the road. All these previous happenings simply came into his mind. Then, when he took up a deep breath, it happened. So, according to his mother's advice, when he felt tense, he should take a deep breath, then he will be relaxed. So he followed it. Afterwards, he was relaxed. He simply removed his anxiety. He began to fly. Fly means he began to jump. His takeoff was effortless. When he remembered all these flashback stories, he felt it is very easy for him. He felt it was very easy for him. Michael Stone was flying just as in his childhood dreams. When he was a child, he dreamt of creating history, flying like a bird. Now, he is doing same thing. Only this time, he knew he was not dreaming. In childhood, he dreamt of all these things, but not in practice. But now, he is doing practically. He is going to fulfill his desire. He is going to reach his goal. This was real. Here, it is in the stadium. It was real thing, not dreaming of anything. Everything seemed to be moving in slow motion. The air around him was the purest and freshest he had ever sensed. Michael was soaring with the majesty of an eagle. Everything was very, very convenient for him, favorable to him. Fresh, pleasant atmosphere, cold breeze, and the track also very smooth and soft. All these things are being enjoyed by Michael Stone. Then he started his jumping. It was either the eruption of the people in the stands or the thump of his landing that brought Michael back to earth. He was simply thinking all these things and he was flying. He simply came to his senses when he touched the ground. After jumping, after creating history, he jumped down, he touched the earth. Then he came to senses. At the same time, people started clapping, erupted. People, the eruption of the people in the stands. On his back, with that wonderful hot sun on his face, he could only envision the smile on his mother's face. When he touched the ground, again he simply started to think about his mother. How will be my mother at this moment? How will be my father at this moment? He simply envisioned the smiling face of his mother and hugging of his mother and father in joy, in extreme joy. He simply thought about his parents like that. He knew his dad was probably smiling too, even laughing and laughing, but would always do that when he got excited, smile and then sort of giggle. What he didn't know was that his dad was hugging his wife and crying. We didn't expect all this thing. But when his father was in good mood, he simply smiles and got excited and then a kind of giggle. Giggle means so nauta by opening his mouth. Giggle. What he did not know was that his dad was hugging his wife and crying. He was crying hard than Mildred had ever seen before. She also knew he was crying the greatest tears of all, tears of pride. His father may shed tears. Those tears are not tears of sorrow. They are the tears of joy. They are the tears of joy and pride. Michael was immediately swarmed with people hugging and congratulating him on the greatest accomplishment of his life. He later went on that day to clear 17 feet 6.5 inches, a national and international junior Olympics record. It is the record created by Michael Stone. All the people started surrounding him and hugging and congratulating him on his greatest accomplishment. Accomplishment means to achieve something great, accomplishment, successfully. Michael was the next one. It was the national and international junior Olympics record. National, not only national, international. At the international level also, it was a record in junior Olympics. With all the media attention and heartfelt congratulations, Michael's life would never be the same. It was not just because he won the National Junior Olympics and set a new world record. And it was not because he had just increased his personal best by 9.5 inches. It was simply because Michael Stone was blind. This is the real reason for their heartfelt congratulations. They congratulated Michael Stone not because he created history just by increasing his height, his jump by 9 inches higher than his personal record, and not because he created a national and international record, Junior Olympics, but only for one reason. They congratulated him wholeheartedly. They felt proud of Michael Stone because he was a blind. Really extraordinary thing. Really extraordinary thing. He was blind but he created a world record. He became a role model for all the handicapped people around the world. Nobody should be disappointed because of their handicap. If they have willpower, if they have discipline, dedication, determination, handicapped people also can create records. He proved it. He proved it. Just like New Vujicic. Because of that, all the audience surprised at his success by creating a national and international record in Junior Olympics. Really extraordinary thing. The people who have all the body parts are unable to create records. We are watching every day. Many people fail in their efforts. But this boy, without eyes, without eyesight, only because of self-confidence, willpower, determination, dedication, and discipline, and hard work, he created history. No doubt, he is a role model for the entire world. So this is the end of this lesson. The true height. True height means the greatest achievement of somebody, greatest achievement in somebody's life. In this lesson, used to. His mother always used to tell him. Used to usage. When do we use used to? To tell about past habits or past events, we use used to. I used to swim every day when I was a child, but not now. The meaning is but not now. When I was a child, I used to swim every day. I swim. The meaning of the sentence is but not now. I am not swimming now. Used to. I used to quarrel with all my benchmates when I was in the high school, but not now. So it is a past habit or past events. On such occasion, we have to use used to. Very, very important usage. Used to. Next one. What is it plural or singular? Plural. What is the singular form? Foot. Foot. In the same way, is it singular or plural? Plural. Singular form, tooth. Generally, students may confuse regarding these such kind of words. Next one. Carefully, one parts of speech. Carefully. It is adverb. Careful. Adjective. Care. Noun. These are the parts of speech. Since the other Walter. Usage of since and for. Usage of since or for. Since, we can use since before point of time. We can use for before period of time. For example, he has been living in USA since 1990. Here 1990 is the point of time. Since 1990 he has been living till now. That is the meaning. Since 1990. For, he has been living in USA for 10 years. For 10 years. 10 years is a period of time. For 10 years. Or here you can use he lived in USA for 10 years. He lived in USA for 10 years. In this way, you can use since and for. After the lesson is completed, you must read the lesson thoroughly and repeatedly. Every student must strive to buy textbook. Reading of textbook is very, very important. It improves your reading ability. It improves your reading ability. And if you read the lesson with the help of dictionary, you can understand every lesson in an excellent manner. If you read lesson thoroughly, you can understand the summary of the lesson. If you understand the summary of the lesson, in reading a comprehension, you can answer excellently and you can get maximum marks. In paper 1 and paper 2, section A, comprehension, reading comprehension, for 15 marks. One paragraph is given. You have to read and understand the paragraph thoroughly. That is the only thing you have to do in paper 1 or paper 2. If you read and understand the paragraph thoroughly, there is possibility of getting maximum marks in that section out of 15 marks. Because of that purpose, referring dictionary is very, very important. Referring dictionary is very, very important. But unfortunately, most of the students don't buy dictionary. If you spend 100 or 150 rupees or 200 rupees, you can get excellent dictionary. But most of the students don't buy dictionary. That's a minus point for all the students. So you have to refer the dictionary and you read the lesson. Whenever you get a difficult word, immediately you have to refer the dictionary. You can find the meaning. Afterwards, you can understand the summary of that paragraph or entire lesson. That will be very, very useful for you. So, I advise all the students, buy dictionaries compulsorily. Read the textbook thoroughly. Textbooks are available now in the market. Buy textbooks. Every day, read the completed lessons. And you must complete the worksheets and send them as quickly as possible or as early as possible by writing your name clearly along with your surname and section. That's most important. Handwriting must be neat. You have to follow these guidelines regarding worksheets and regarding reading of lesson. Next, reading C. What is a player? This poem also relates to games and sports. What is a player? Here, glossary, give up means leave, whine means complain, pondering means thinking about something carefully for a period of time, contemplating, considering about, chicken out means to decide not to do something because of fear. So, the poem. What is a prayer? This is a question because helping verb is a, it is subject. Subject is included in what? If you write the same sentence, what a player is, it cannot become a question. Player, subject. Verb came after subject. So it cannot become a question. So this is also error finding. So if you want to write it in a question form, you have to write subject, verb, other words, what a player is. About the poet, Jessica Taylor was born in Louisiana. She is a young poetess. Poet to poetess. Poet, poetess. Poet to poetess. Male, female. Louisiana, a city in USA. She has developed her love for music and poetry at an early age. So she loves music and poetry since her early age. Most of her poems have focused on emotional issues with an emotional touch. Loneliness, I miss you, I hate, and I am worried are some of her popular poems. These are her popular poems. A player is one who does not give up at the height of defeat, but learns from their mistakes and puts them beneath. A player is one who does not give up at the sound of the buzzer, always giving what they have from one side of the court to the other. Here, in the first stanza, a player does not give up at the sight of a defeat. A player should not worry about his defeat or success, especially about defeat. He should not be disappointed because of his defeat, but learns from their mistakes. If he faces defeat, he should not be disappointed. Instead of that, he has to think about the mistakes he committed. What are the reasons for his failure? How to rectify those mistakes next time? In this way, a player has to think, but he should not be disappointed. He should not be give up at the sound of a buzzer. He should not become hopeless immediately after one defeat. He should not become hopeless. He should be always hopeful. He should think about his future as bright, not dark. These qualities are very important for a player. A player is one who does not whine about their playtime, because a player knows it is an unacceptable crime. A player is one who practices game speed, always keeping in mind that their shots are not guaranteed. In this stanza, a player should not complain, should not worry about the timings of the coaching. He should be ready to go for training at any time. It is very important for a player. No question of any complaint. I can't come evening, sir. I can't come morning, sir. Not like that. He should attend the coaching classes or training classes at any time. Because player knows it is an unacceptable crime. If a player complains about timings of coaching, in sports language, it is a crime. No player should complain about regarding timings. It is not proper. A player is one who practices game speed, always keeping in mind that their shots are not guaranteed. So there is no guarantee of their success. There is no guarantee of particular timings. At any time he has to go on the advice of the coach. A player should develop such kind of mindset. No question of any complaint regarding his coaching timings or anything. A player is one who does not settle for anything less. A player is one who does not settle for anything less, even knowing that they are not the best. They will be the ones you see outside practicing, day or night, rain or shine. They are the ones running on hot angles, admitting they are fine. A player should keep always his success, his winning attitude in his mind. He should not settle anything less than a victory. He should always target his victory, not defeat. Even knowing that they are not the best. Okay, even though he is not the number one player, he is not the best player, such kind of players also should not think about their defeat, should not worry about their defeat. They should target their success. Their target is to succeed, to win the competition. They will be the ones you see outside practicing day or night, rain. They should be ready to practice at any time, daytime or night time or in rain or shine. They should be ready to practice. First they have to do that. Afterwards, victory or defeat. They are the ones running on hot angles admitting they are fine. Even though there is small injury on his body, he should not think about it. He should not worry about that small injury. He has to think that I am fine, I can participate, I can play. Like that, they have to think in that winning attitude. No question of any disappointment. No question of any complaining nature. A player is one who has a strong, sensible mind. A player has willpower, confidence, hard work mentality. Never pondering about failing, only contemplating prevailing. They should not think about their failure. They should think deeply about their success. Particular time. A player is one who does not chicken out. Chicken out means to decide not to do something because of fear. A player should not develop fear in his mind regarding anything. He should be always confident. He should be always enthusiastic. He should be always hopeful, not hopeless. These are the most important qualities. He should maintain his winning attitude always. Such kind of mindset he has to develop. Now that is a true player. If anybody has such kind of excellent qualities, that person should be called a player. He is a true player. He is a true player. So these are the important qualities a true player should have. True player should have. So, regarding a poem, sometimes they give choreography. They give one or two stanzas or 3 or 4 stanzas, otherwise a sonnet. Sonnet means 14 lines, one single poem. They have to ask for writing choreography. It is a major discourse for 10 marks. There is a choice also. For choreography, 4 factors, 4 parameters you have to remember first. You have to read that poem repeatedly, try to understand the meaning of total meaning, not word to word. Briefly, summary, you have to know. That is very important. Afterwards, you have to find out first, you can keep a suitable title. Afterwards, location, where the scene is going on. In this poem, the scene is going on at which place. Next, settings. To create a suitable scene, what things you need to create such kind of a set, such kind of scene. So first one, location, whether the scene is going on in a forest or in the garden or in the park or at a house or in the open place. You have to decide that first, location. Next one, settings. After reading this, to create such kind of scene, what things do you need? That is called setting, second one. Third one, what are the characters? Who are the characters in this poem? You have to find out. If there are no characters, simply you have to think about the summary. If there are characters, Fourth one is conversation. Is there any conversation among those characters? This is the fourth one. If characters are not there, you have to think about the summary. That's all. So these are the main parameters you have to think carefully about choreography. And if you feel it difficult, you can go for choice. But you need not be disappointed on reading the first question, choreography. But try to read the poems repeatedly, try to understand the summary. And fifth one, main theme of the poem. What is the main theme? Is it about dowry? Is it about caste system? Is it about untouchability? Like that, if you find something, you can write the motto, message. What is the message given in the poem? That you can write at the end. With this, reading B is over. Here some grammar points are there. Writing. You have read the biography of Michael Stone. Think of some world famous sporting personalities from India. Collect information about any one of them and write a biographical sketch. This is also major discourse, biographical sketch. They give all the details. It is very easy to write. They give all the details. By using those hints or details, you have to write paragraph wise about his birth, about his childhood, about his education, about his other afterwards, about his personal life, all things here. Here one example is given. You may include the following: date and place of birth of that person, information about the family, achievements of the person, awards, prizes, honors, etc. Important events in the life of the person, education, marriage, profession, etc. Inspiration to others, message to the society, contribution to his or her field and society. So these details are given in the question paper. Based on these details, you have to try to create 4 or 5 paragraphs by using suitable tenses, by constructing correct sentences. That is very important regarding biographical sketch. Okay.